This week we will be doing a deep dive with some Taiwanese expert and master silk batik and eco-printing masters. So how did all of this come about? The Vancouver Asian American Exchange Association arranged a meeting with a group of artist delegates who are coming over from Taiwan, myself, and my frequent collaborator Reader Comst of the Musqueam First Nation. We saw their beautiful dye exhibit and decided we wanted to take a day to work together to dye silk with mushrooms. This is their first time using mushrooms as dyes and our first time seeing their silk techniques up close. I hope you enjoyed the video.
就是一直在思考怎么样子可以把绘画的感觉带到。
So then it was our turn to pick 5 mushrooms we wanted to dye with. I started with lobster mushrooms, which are pH sensitive. They can start out more at a neutral pH at a peachy orange and can get up into the purples. The next mushroom I wanted to do was one of the Cordonarias to get some of those true reds. We did Cordonaria smithii. And then after that, we wanted to pick Dyer's Polypore or Phaeolus schweinitzii because it's just such a great golden hued dyer with great olive greens with iron. The next one we did was Blue Chanterelles, the Polyozellus multiplex. This one is a high elevation found up in the Alpines here, usually in association with yellow cedar. And then the last mushroom was the violet hedgehog or Hydnellum fuscoinicum. Again, this is a great dyer which gets into those bluey, greeny, gray colors. So it was quite a good spectrum, I think.
简单说一下，这个很好玩的是那一天呢，有听到姐妹山那个故事。
Okay, so the inspiration of these lines is for the twin mountain of North Vancouver.
Oh, we call those the sisters or the lions, yes. Oh.
所以这两座山就是姐妹。
Oh, who's chopping mushroom?
哦，老师他写在抽袋上面是吗？
不是，写在布上。
来这边。
他写在盘子上。
哦，我的没有破写。可以这样拨开写。
不知道我的是写英文。
写英文就写
写英文吗？好。
他说只要1公分，那是很细的咯。
那你就不用是。
你再讲一次。
50克的香菇。
这个位置是哪一个？
哦，有的是公用。
Sure.
So now he's going to introduce what we did.
我这是算是一个简单的做法，但是呢，它会有形象，就是会有造型。
So it's a very simple technique. In the same time, you will get image of actual stuff.
我缝了2条线，它就会切割成3个区域，就是。
With 2 stitches, you will have 3 sections. 老师3个区域是不同颜色吗？
等一下呢，我们3个颜色就希望它能够有3个颜色。
Okay, so on these fabrics, we expect to have 3 different colors since there's 3 different sections.
那原则上呢，就是说这3个颜色啊，它是我们可以自由选择的。
And basically, we could choose freely 3 color of it with any color.
所以现在看来的话，这个是天空，这个是姐妹山，然后呢，这是姐妹山下层的山，
So for him, this would be the sky, and it's the Sisters Mountain, and this one is the Mirror Mountain.
那我会希望说这个颜色是最亮的，最鲜亮的。
Okay, so he would like to have this section to be the brightest,
Okay.
这个颜色是最深的。
and this one would be the darkest.
这个呢，远山呢不要做得太暗，要不然的话会变晚上，所以这个是第二深。
Okay, so this one would be the second darkest, in which he don't want it to become night, he wants it to be daytime.
The mushroom with the biggest color range
Yes,
will be.
try different color with each fabrics.
Oh yes.
这样的话就会有比较多的面貌。
So that we could have a variation of different.
I love it.
So for these three, one of them we will keep it, and another two will be.
Oh, thank you. Wow.
好，那这个如果等一下要做的时候，我们第一个颜色可以整个都染上颜色。
So maybe the first time we could have a thorough color on the whole piece of fabrics.
第二个颜色呢，我们再来染第二深的颜色。
And later we will have a lighter one.
Yes, I see what you're saying. Yes,
Yes.
I see what you're saying.
然后呢，地方要包起来。
So where we don't want the color to attach, we will always cover it.
Okay.
那比如说我第二次要染这边，那我就要包这边统统要包起来。
So if we want to dye this section the second time, we will cover this part.
And then, yeah.
下一次最后一次的话，就包这两边染这边。
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
很期待。
好，那这个是这里边算是染的次数要比较多的一件。
Yeah.
那像这个的话，就是丢进去染了，染的时间要长一点，因为这有些重重叠叠的地方啊，在染的时候染到一半要拿起来，用手捏，
Okay.
然后呢再回去再染。
And with the folded ones, in general, we would need to dye it for a longer time.
Okay.
In the middle of dyeing, we need to always take it out and to push the dyer inside.
Oh, okay. Okay.
最后呢，它染完之后啊，可能有些地方啊，它可以局部的再去做不同的美染。
And if we do want to have a little bit difference or variation, we could have a small part to be more done after we dye it.
Right.
A dip.
We call that a post dye dip. After dyeing dip.
后面染。
是的，是
We
的。
do have this process.
对
Yep.
所以这两个大概就是这样子的染色方法。
With these two.
那这个呢，这就说它已经有缠绕了，缠绕了以后，这个地方就会留白。
And with this one, we already have a tied part, and with this part, it will become a white line.
Okay.
所以像这个交界的地方，如果我们要留白的话，也是可以留白，只是第二次包的时候啊，就不能包到太接近线。
So, if we want to have a white section along the stitching line, we could always tie it when we dye it the second time. But then we cannot dye it too close.
那像一般我们做这样的话，就是会第一次整个下去染色。
And usually when we do something like this, the first time we will put the whole thing inside.
那第二次染色的话，我们可能会包掉一部分然后这边去染色。
The second time we can have half of it dyed.
那有可能我们第三次染色也有可能是包这边留一边不一
And
样
we
的
can
颜色
still。dye the third time.
这个可以有一些自己的想象
Okay.
变化。绑的地方不能够绑得太接近。
And what important is that we cannot tie the fish too close to each other.
Yeah.
这样的话，否则这边太紧就吃不进去。
Otherwise, in the center, it will become a bit white.
Okay.
这染的时间呢要稍微长一点，这个一次可能要40分钟左右。
And also, this one would need a longer dyeing time, and he
Okay.
said like maybe around 40 minutes.
一般呢，我们染20分钟也可以，但是因为它这里啊层 太多层了，
OK
所以都会受到。的话，袋子会给它做到 pH
减碎
正好。这个做绿色，
We're not ready for the silk there.
现在要测染液，
So we can also,
那就先下吗？
if anybody else wants to play with the pH for a project for the lobster is the best for that.
我们把它分
Please
8
go
块
ahead.
好不好
Like
哪一个
if anyone for a project here wants to look at the lobster changing the pH for a specific project, I would like them to go ahead. Like they don't need, don't wait for us. We're just here if you need us.
Okay, yes, we are just separate
Okay.
different colors, so we will have everything. 那个他有说，就是如果我们特别想要用酸碱值来玩一些颜色的话，那个龙虾菇是可以的。然后就是他欢迎我们去参加，就做这个。
Okay.
黄色，
这个
对，跟刚刚那个。
Okay. And then we'll do blue chantal.
那这样下去他会记得吗？
他应该的，他应该会把
This one. No. You can write it down if you want to, but. This will go red really quick. No, this one is this one. We usually do this with Rita and I usually teach with 4 and 4, so we know this.
那我们这里还有一个，
这两个是因为 pH 值要不所以放在一起。
So this is gonna. And if you look already, you can see orange and some purple because they were harvested with different. As the mushroom sits there, it gets more and more basic and it gets purple.
他说就是那个菇上面啊，它有橘色跟紫色，然后就是他在采集一个香菇的时候，它那个香菇的下面比较最顶端会是什么？我们也常这样。然后这就是要确保它现在的酸碱值。
Check the pH. With washing some, you have to wait a second to really get that pH. So you just want to go in there. So there you go. So it's at a 9.
那它现在它把那个小苏打调进去之后，现在这一锅的 pH 是9。
And then whenever we change pH, we always take the fiber out to change the pH.
每次要改变 pH 值的时候，那个被染物都要先拿出来，才可以改变。
And that's just with the lobster. Oh, not yet. Not yet. Too soon. Too soon.
来，你放前，放桌上，哎，压着啊，压着，然后把它抽紧那个玉，
So he's going to pull it in a very tight.
好，这样子呢，
So you need strong thread.
它就很紧了。
So now it's kind of really tight.
一般你如果打结打在外面的话，它松松的那个白点会留不住。
If you tie it too loose, you cannot keep the white point.
Oh, okay.
这个目的，我等一下这样染的目的是要让它留白点。
Okay, so is pulling it in a really tight situation so that later we will get white spots along the
Yep.
line.
Okay.
如果我们要我们要让它很那个规整的话，这个时候要做这个动作。
And if we want it to become very beautiful, we need to even every piece.
Yeah. Oh wow.
好，那这样的话，它那个点呢，它会比较有次序，比较不会忽大忽小。
So then later the point will become in an even size, not bigger or smaller. What if we boil?
那个渣都没有挤，那个它那个还会再重复用吗？
One question that you can take color for the second time,
Oh, I see. Yeah, maybe a little bit.
but not like a very rich color.
I don't think so. I think the first one.
You don't want to wait for it to dry.
筷子给吗？看他拍我们头发。
Oh, what do you? So this one won't do a lot for. Sure. Yeah. So normally that one takes an hour,
只是会要赶1个小时，我们要赶到5:07。
but it's already going.
好，再一次。这边呢？ 然后第二双筷子。
You could just leave the chopsticks on top too.
但是你要把筷子插在那里。
对，
放在那个杯上，就这样放在那
这样才不会练的。
因为它不是直接接触水，它下面
啊，这个是
有
龙虾菇。
这个线
对，
拉好了是吧
线，哎，不知道为什么
它是拉的线。
对，那个比较长。
留长的，来帮我剪掉。好。
So this should be like a peach, a very light peach right now. It won't be purple.
So how long should we dye this?
At least 45 minutes. But even for like even an hour is good,
Okay.
depending on what you want to do.
但是左手不那么听话，右手比不转。好，来。
I think the mushroom and the silk are a good combination. Yeah.
但它感觉上那个蘑菇跟丝其实长得很好，他们过去多半讲得很好。
应该很容易，那个蛋白质的关系。还是哪一个？
是哪一个？
红色的，这个。
是红菇薯。
So this one is usually pretty fast on wool. Yeah.
他说这个要赶20分钟，4点半哦。
哦，4点半，
对，赶到4点半。
赞呐！
谁记得？
谢谢，每个都要演这样时间内。
He looks very.
我记了。
哦。那个等一下我们还可以再来一次看。
Already. This is like a steak. This is like a
跟那个
pretty. This is
剑草一
important
样
mushroom to us. It's hard to find, so it's very valuable for trading. Oh no, of course.
OK，
嗯，
这个萝卜很难找，
你直接好好找，
是很难找到的。
可以给我去。
哦，是很难找。
Look at that already.
耶，
Number one。
Number one.
还是在那个不
Love
用
it.
煮很久。
大刚刚那边左边两个，他都是说要最好1个小时。
对，
嗯，还没有。
还没有放啊。
Oh, this one isn't the red quartz though. Hang on.
And how long should this be?
I would give it the hour maybe, because you want to get really dark.
给它再吃一下。
It won't go black. It'll only go black with iron.
这个也是要赶1个小时到5点12分。
嗯，这是
那加油，它这里要米。
可以可以。好，
We are trying to speed up.
这是
This one I think will be the fastest. Maybe 10 minutes.
白化乳菌。
他说这个大概只要10分钟就可以了。
哦，这么快？
But we'll see.
So
Just-
if you want to have a darker color, we can keep it longer.
Keep it, yeah, but as soon as you're happy.
最少的，颜色比较淡的。
他说这个是它是越染会越深，所以想要的时候就
要
拿起
到
来。
的就可以拿起来啊。好，等一下它会越来越深。翠兰，
What about this
戴
one?
戴手套。
哦，这个老师这个筷子，
筷子刚刚哪一个怎么会把它落掉了？应该是这个，还是染红，还是染绿？
红啊，红啊，红中。
红。
I would put it in. I would put it in the other. Oh, I would put it in the other way.
他说他会放出来的。
Oh, listen.
你要放另外一个方面。
可以，
Oh,
都
all
是
right, all right, no, no, no. But let's watch because the water level can drop quickly.
这个。
So let's just make sure we watch it, okay?
捏这个位置跟这个位置。
Now they are trying to make the color inside.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Get in there. So it's still an active process to get the.
好，推下去。过来。哦，它一次一次加深。我要讲一个最好笑的笑话，好不好？哎，这个正好要好无声，时间。
会在就是染的过程当中没染，
Could you
那它
show me
的颜色
one
会
more
变成一个暗淡的
I'm
粉
gonna
红
make sure
色。
you open it. Okay. And same there.
要先做眉啊，哦，
一定要先没染。
先做眉，不来电的话就不要结
I,
婚。
I see now how active you must be to get the good results.
I think we
这个
put
可能会
red
吃不到颜
quartz
色。
inside in
看都被
half
觉得你要
phosphor.
的差
Should
点。
we take it like half phosphor?
If you don't have, do you want?
I think we already put in more than 10 minutes.
I.
冲过之后就有点软软的。
其实拍一拍应该就可以了，因为我觉得葱好像还会更脏。
又拍了。这个没有啊。再煮一下，它又有吃掉一点点。你把那两块大的。
现在被烫到，要做什么动作，你知道吗？
我的。
Even the chopsticks are going yellow.
为什么会变其他的颜色？
哪个东西？
这个就先起来。 但是等一下有一块要做厚铁，
后铁，
哦
对，
哎
And one of these pieces we are going to have an iron
Yep.
molded, which is this one.
So I don't think you'll get as dark
这
a color as if you had pre-bordented with iron, but I think you know that.
这个时间需要久吗？
Should we keep this one for a longer time?
Yep.
OK. 对，要久一点。好漂亮哦，我的好像我的不是我的。
So that'll go much darker with iron.
这个跟他的衣服颜色接近。
It's my clothing color.
这个叫做海苔的颜色。
Seaweed.
Yeah, it does look like seaweed.
还有没上来的？
你把它摊开是？
对。
啊，那红色的。
I think
是
we'll.
他说如果我们后面可以淋酒，
好。
那个染茶。 刚刚应该一边做蛋一点，那他现在要不要弄一个同一个给他？这个是黄昏，红色天空。
Could you let us know how honored we are that Mr. Chen and Mrs. Chen and everyone else are here using our mushrooms? We feel very honored.
那个他说他觉得非常荣幸，就是你们在这边，就是老师跟马老师，然后还有我们在这边用他们的蘑菇在染色。
And everybody.
我们很荣幸啊，来到加拿大还能够用到蘑菇。
Have the experience to dye something with you.
Oh, good. So it's the same. You're going to go into each.
来，加拿大的。
Yes.
红木，
这有点像茜草遇到那个颜色，
对呀，茜草色。
茜色
而且它很快哈。
它有点像那个日本线，
印度线更红。
就比较偏印度线，不是日
跟
本线的颜色
橙。味，是的。这样的话，它就不会有白线。刚刚那一条黑色的可能会有留白线。
So with this one, there won't be white dots, and another one with black stitching lines, because we already pro it before we put it inside, so probably there will be dots.
Oh, okay. And this is the one we're going to cover with. You're going to cover with plastic.
所以
If
我
you
们要
cover.
包塑胶袋吗
要
Yeah.
？Yes.
，yes。
这个都是
在这里，
给我。
我们也没想到要来这里工作。
那个，左右一只手，左一只手右。
绕起来。
我们是要红色天空还是红色的山？
红色的天空好，要
红色天空
你说黑色的天空。
Now they're discussing which color they're going to put in
Oh,
this section.
yeah, very important question.
做红色天空啊。
就是黄昏。
Do different colors mean different things?
但是不同的颜色对我们来说有不同代表的意义嘛？
如果红色的天空，那代表黄昏；如果黑色的天空，代表是晚上。
So she said that if we keep the sky area to be red, then it will be a sunset.
Fair enough.
你要这边吧。
Should any of us go with you? It's okay.
Which there I know the way from here to.
OK。
Yeah.
哦，袋子太大。
The very corner again.
等一下，我又看不到。
Driving. So, and I finally found this.
等一下，这个地方。
Oh yes, so much people today.
Yeah, very
低
many.
一点。
Okay, so I'll be back in a few minutes.
那个易宇，你跟他说，一般呢，我会用小小的袋子，因为这个袋子太大，怕在绑的时候啊就不透明，看不到。 抓这里，两只
So
手指
normally you
头。
will use very small bags that you can see the inside cover, and now because we don't have other choices.
Right.
搞得
Improvising.
这个够了吧？颜色
够了。
这里
不是啊，老师回答我这边够了，不
这个呢？
那个老师，那个白化菌菇看一下颜色，不然它等下会变成褐色哦。
可以起来。
哦，那个光，那颜色不一样哎。对，就变不那么亮哈。
拨旁边一点，拨旁边一点，颜色会。好，那个等一下就要拆哦。
我直接拆了。
那个是谁的图案？
我的
哦，拆了哦。
白化菌菇是黄色哈，是不是留一边来后面贴？
对，
留一半做贴。
要两边的还是一边的？
你把那个来这个哈。
But I can see
剪刀
scissors？
剪刀。这个是蓝色鸡油菌，这先给它洗一洗。
你帮我拿那个纸，
So on Facebook,
他在把它 po 到 FB 之前，他会问我们每个人的拼音，他怕拼错。
好。
Thank you for doing that.
yeah, of course.
Your Facebook page is just your personal or your work?
Oh no, I have a work one.
做多表，做多表。
没有关系，看着办。
看颜色。
看颜色，那个没有做过。
way.
Oh.
This way and iron. But
不是，
it's
应该
too
是
small. Do you have some more?
Yes.
This way and this way.
你掉下去好多。
So
对它这个
maybe I want something. But, this way keep the blue color. Okay. 或者我再多弄2片好了，多一点。
他要抽就是抽之后改片。
Oh, here's the.
做不完。哦，给你降位。
很小啦，因为后面如果再绑的话会更大，更大一点。
哇，
它太小腿了。
不会，可以了，可以了，可以了。你干嘛？
Beautiful.
是呀。
对呀。
等一下，对，没有做。
那是什么？
只是会
有啊，我记得有啊，有一个指刺猬的牌子啊。
前提。
这里。
真都是铁的。
这个就不要，应该就被黑死。
不会，嘴巴擦掉。
修呢？
修啊，
哦，我来要洗哦，有几个要洗？
好像蛮多的，好像有。
还有吗？还有一块老师的也要洗。
超上的那个是老师的，老师这个先抽。
哦，那这个呢？这个也是抽的啊。
这个是我的。
哦，OK， 好。好，你的要没？
要没一下。
啊，所以要洗吗？要洗吗？
还有一个，
有小块的。有小块。
好像还没有打开，对不对？我这里还有一块。不错不错，那个材质有点金金的。
亮亮的。
So very beautiful.
没打开。
那个老师防染它有没有多的吧？
Beautiful.
这样习惯空军了。
所以我们这个大概做几分钟可以？
So how long should we keep it there?
Oh, it's done.
它就已经好了。
哦，已经好了。
哦，这样可以了。
Because you've already simmered for an hour, so it's as deep as it's dark, and now it's good.
你这样久了，你也不会忘记。哎，变红了。
他说现在这样。
翠兰那里还有一张哈，
对你还没
还没有绑好。哦，
哇，
用了。没关系，那就